hostile probe by the U.S. This is a story covered on pages 4 and 5 of the Daily Nation. We see Speaker Moses Wetangula adding that these allegations are coming when we have a leadership meeting with the executive and the judiciary. We will face each other and ask the hard questions. Of course, there was a recommendation, just like the president, the former president Uhuru Kenyatta did, to have a list of shame, to highlight the people who are in charge, as opposed to just generalizing and saying it's parliament and the judiciary. So there was that recommendation given, that how about we have a list of shame and we see who are these people who are corrupt. So we wait and see how this turns out. Page 6 is covering why elderly teachers will reap big from 24,000 promotions by TSC. This is great news covered on page 6, and you can have a look at it. I also see page 3, but took 505 million shillings windfall for villagers in Laikipia after a devastating wildfire. This is quite unfortunate. A story covered on page 3 of the Daily Nation. It's very unfortunate. This is a huge amount of money that was lost because of the wildfire, and we pray that indeed God is going to come through for each and every person who has incurred loss in that fire. More news. I see South Africa great Mark Fish tips Kenya to beat Madagascar in Chan quarters. So we see how that goes. Of course, we keep praying for our Harambee Stars that indeed they will shine even as they advance to other greater levels. I also see Kenyan astronauts seeking to launch Kenya into space. Quite a interesting here. A story covered on the Daily Nation. More stories. Shamburu's carbon credit project stalls amid legal battle. Also important for you to have a look at it. That is a story covered on the Daily Nation. And also I see here party time, lol, Daiga villagers go to bed poor, wake up millionaires. Interesting. This is a good story also. You can have a look at it on the Daily Nation. And now let's jump over to the Standard and see what are some of the highlights. Of course, the top story being covered here, given preeminence, is the one we are going to be touching on and saying, okay, so what is happening? And I see here, nothing to worry about, Murkomen says on Gachagua return. Of course, Gachagua has been in the US, and now his return sparking conversations here and there. And I see the Standard has put this headline, thorn in flesh. So a year after his ouster, accused of misconduct, corruption and insubordination, Rigathi Gachagua has recast himself as Ruto's loudest foe. He has turned against his former boss, accusing him of running a criminal enterprise from State House, extrajudicial killings and state-backed militias. Fresh from a U.S. tour, he returns to lead the opposition in high-stakes by-elections, address rehearsal for the bruising 2027 contest. And of course, Gachagua's US tour, just to know what was he up to. So on July 9th, Gachagua left Kenya for the US. July 13th, graces Kikuyu Cultural Festivals at Segel Park in Seattle, Washington. July 21st, he engages Kenya in the diaspora at a town hall meeting in Boston. July 27th, he held a community public rally in Baltimore, Maryland. August 5th, he met members from the Gusii community in Texas. August 6th, he attended a conference to commemorate 80 years since Hiroshima and Nagasaki were bombed at the Truman Presidential Library and Museum in Missouri. I also see August 10th, he engaged Kenyans in Los Angeles, California. And lastly, August 18th, held an event in Tewksbury, Massachusetts. Yes, so that is what Gachagua was up to on his U.S. trip. And 43 is the number of days former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua had been in the U.S., cutting short his 2-month visit. So that is what is being reported on the Standard. So you can get more on the same there. The real estate pullout this morning is saying cost of homes up as UN offices move to Nairobi. So that is what is being reported. Also, cost of owning houses in East Africa cities has also been highlighted in the Standard pullout. Expos give malls a new lease of life. That's on the footfall, still on the real estate pullout. And This is quite interesting. I think if Gigi was here, would have angenichanua kidogo. I'm seeing there's a new slang words, the Lulu skibidi, made part of the English dictionary. This is this is interesting. There's even a definition, this is quite interesting. So these slang words, the Lulu and skibidi, I have no idea what skibidi is. At least the Lulu, I know it's from the word delusional, but skibidi, I do not know. Maybe you can text me and tell me what it means. But moving forward, the Standard is also covering Kenya's demand action after Ruto's damning 10 million shilling bribery claims. Of course, that is a story that is now getting the top headlines. Now, let us look at what the Business Daily is covering this morning. The top story here is wealthy counties lose in new revenue share plan. So Nairobi among 35 counties that have lost 6.7 billion shillings. Poorer counties including Lamu and Isiolo have gained 3.5 billion shillings. So we see a ton of events right there. And more stories on the Business Daily. Energy prices and global tariffs dull CEO's Kenyan outlook. We also see tech firms beat factories, banks with 65 billion shillings FDI inflows. And lastly, I see here cabinet holds the key to state sale of extra Safaricom state, reported on the Business Daily. So that is what we have been covered in our newspapers this morning. Grab a copy of your favorite and be on the know about what is happening in our nation. Our prayer is that everyone who has been corrupt, all these corruption cases, they will be out in the open. We've been praying that the Lord exposes every evil, and so that we can indeed see the Kenya that we have been praying for. I believe that God is doing something. There is a shift. There are things that are going to be happening. Hearts will be stirred up, and I know that we will get to where we need to be. Even as we are gearing up towards the 2027 elections, let us keep praying. Let us keep asking the Lord to raise up a leader who is from Him. Leaders, even in the cabinet, be it in the parliament, wherever it is, the senators and all, everyone who will be a leader in our nation will be from God, and that God will handpick them for us so that we do not make any mistake in choosing the wrong person. So let us keep praying. Let us keep believing that God is doing something new in our nation. And let us also thank the Lord for the many teachers who are going to be receiving promotions and salary increments. Indeed, they have waited on the Lord. They have trusted. I know most of them have been working. My own mom is a teacher, so I know the work it calls for, especially if you're a teacher for a long time. So let us keep praying and thanking God even for the positive things that we are seeing happening in our nation. So now let us have a look at the video of the day. When we come back, we will talk about it.